Welcome to another video from Charis Ministries. We're glad that you're able to join us today for this short video. Our passion is to see people trained, equipped and developing for ministry. One of the issues I want to look at today is the area of building a team ministry. If you spend any amount of time in ministry, you'll soon learn you can't do it on your own. You don't have all the gifts. You're going to need other people. So how do you begin to build that team? How do you begin to develop that team? What are the requirements? What are some of the essentials? So over the next couple of videos, I'd like to discuss that issue with you and give you some pointers. I think we have to start by saying that you must realize that building a team can take a long time. It doesn't happen in 6 weeks. It doesn't happen even in 6 months. It may take you a number of years to build a team that really helps you function, that really helps take your organization or your ministry forward. So if you're just starting out, don't be discouraged, don't be disheartened. Realize that it takes a great investment of your time, of your energy, but that it is worth it in the long run. So where do you start? What are the components to building a great team ministry? What are you actually looking for in other team members? We're going to look at 5 characteristics over the next couple of videos. But let's start with what I think is the fundamental building block. And that's the issue of character. Now, none of us are perfect. We've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we wouldn't want broadcast to the world. And so we have to understand that we're not looking for people who are perfect. Only one man was perfect, and his name was Jesus. So we're going to have to live with people who have strengths and weaknesses, who have difficulties at times, who have pressures in their life. Nonetheless, we come back to this fundamental idea that character is the building block for building a team. But what do we mean by character? Clearly not perfection. If you look at a number of people in the Bible, take for example David, he was called a man after God's own heart, and yet he committed murder, he committed adultery. And yet God was able to use him for his own purposes. So we can't look for perfection. Think of Peter as another example. Think of James and John, who were called sons of thunder because of their problem with anger. So clearly God is able to use people. But what are we looking for in terms of team ministry? I think in terms of character, we're looking for honesty. We're looking for people who are going to be honest about themselves, about their own strengths and weaknesses, about their own abilities, about their own needs. And we're looking, secondly, for people who are growing in their character. So in 1 Corinthians 13, we read this idea. It's often used about marriage, about relationships, but it's sandwiched in there between 1 Corinthians 12 and 1 Corinthians 14, which are about spiritual gifts and the use of them in ministry. So the character issues of love, joy, patience, not envying, not seeking revenge, all of those characteristics are sandwiched in there in 1 Corinthians. Now, the Corinthian church was not a perfect church, and Paul wrote to them to tell them these are the areas they needed to grow in. So I think there needs to be a basic honesty about ourselves, but there also needs to be a sense of growing in our relationship and in our character. So I think the fundamental thing we're looking for people is that they're truly born again, that they're truly committed as followers of Jesus Christ, if we're building a church organization, our team ministry in church, and that they're committed to following the spiritual disciplines. There are no shortcuts to reading the Bible and praying. There are no shortcuts to being in relationship with others. There's no shortcuts to giving. If you look at the commands, 7 commands of Jesus, they're a good starting point for the character. So when we're looking for people, our starting point is, what is their character like? Are they faithful? Are they honest? Are they reliable? In a moment, I'm going to give you some questions that I think will help you discern a person's character, because it's not always easy to do, but if we're in relationship with people, then that gives us a good starting point. So here's 5 questions that will help you discern a person's character. Most times it will confirm what you already know, what you're already thinking. But here's 5 questions that may just help you. have a look at them, and then we'll come back and discuss them together. If you want to be a discerning leader, if you want to build a great team around you, then you are going to have to look at the issue of character. And one of the first questions that we've suggested is, will they follow? Will a person follow another person's lead? See, it's not enough to have someone who's really gifted. You have to have someone of character who will work in a team, work alongside others. So one of the tests is, can a person follow others? Will they do their own thing? Can they be in relationship? Can they learn to follow? The second question relates to service. Will they serve? Similar to being able to follow others' lead, there must be a heart to serve. I've often had people come up to me and say, well, it would be great. I think I should have an opportunity to preach. I think I should be leading. I think I should be doing this. And at times I've said to them, okay, well, what we actually need to do at the moment is we need someone to put away chairs or to fold leaflets or to go and visit those who are shut in. You will soon find out if someone is willing to serve when you ask them to do the tasks that aren't necessarily up front, but are the necessary parts of service and ministry. Third question, will they learn? You see, you have to have this issue of teachability sorted out. We did a previous video on that, so go and have a look at the video we done on teachability. It's the key to our own leadership growth and in the lives of others. So will people be willing to learn? No one likes someone who knows it all. No one likes someone who's arrogant and comes across, yes, I know that. Yes, I already knew that. Yes, I've already learned that lesson. We want people who are willing to learn. Question 4 is, will they sacrifice? Good team members will be willing to sacrifice, and you'll get an insight into their perspective on life when you see if they're willing to sacrifice. Ministry can be costly, it can be hard, it can sometimes be long hours, it can sometimes be isolating. Are they willing to sacrifice their own personal comfort and their own personal gain in order to be part of the team, in order to complete the assignment? The 5th question relates to honesty. Will they be honest? Now, if you're in a Christian ministry, we wouldn't be expecting people to tell outright lies, but do they shade the truth? Do they cover the truth? Is there that sense of integrity? Because if not, others in the team won't trust them. It will breed mistrust and will impact your own leadership. So a question you have to resolve is, will they be honest? So when we talk about honesty, we're not talking about people who will outright lie, but we are talking about people who can live an authentic life, who can live an honest life with others, who will be able to get past their own insecurities and get to a place of maturity so that they can lead others. So when you look at the individual, do you see that their lives reflects an honesty?